or Los Angeles County is the most affected county by COVID-19. So the streets are pretty much empty, even if it's about 4 p.m. And at weekends, if it weren't for the epidemic, the nightlife here in Los Angeles is quite abundant. However, it was seriously affected by the pandemic. I will take you to take a look and take a stroll on the streets of Los Angeles. I will take you to my campus, which is quite beautiful but very empty at this moment. Currently, we're approaching Christmas. So the staff of our apartment building is making some Christmas decorations. Let me show you.
Hey, Morgan. Just showing people around. Yeah. Beautiful. 然后美国这边就是节日气氛比较浓，然后前段时间也是刚过了感恩节。
So you can feel this kind of festive atmosphere in the air. We have just experienced Thanksgiving. A lot of people went traveling, and I believe that's actually attributable to the seriousness of this pandemic. And people would come out and visit their friends and families during holidays, which is understandable, but surely it does nothing to the containment of the epidemic. This is the gym. I used to go to the gym every day before the epidemic. However, since March, due to the seriousness of the epidemic, most of the indoor gyms are closed down. So I have no place to do some physical exercises. I hope that will change soon. Right now, let's take a look at a Whole Foods grocery market nearby. I think the trips that most people make nowadays would be, these kind of must-go visits to the grocery stores. As you can see, there used to be a lot of restaurants and bars open, but all of them have been closed down momentarily. I moved to this neighborhood in May because it's quite close to my company. So it's safe to say that I've never had a chance to take a bite in any of the restaurants because they were already closed down by the time I moved in. I've just checked the news and latest numbers. Currently, currently there are about 66 million infected patients, among which 14 million of them are from the US. That's roughly about 1/5 of the total cases reported. And Los Angeles is the most seriously affected county by COVID-19 in the US. So the daily newly reported case would exceed 8,000 on a daily basis, which is quite unbelievable. According to the latest command in the state of California, if the ICU bed vacancy would drop to less than 15%, all of the outdoor dining will be closed down, so you cannot eat outside in exterior spaces. You can only eat at home or order takeout. And all the barbers or the haircut places will be closed down. So the Southern California as a region in California, among Bay Area, South and North California, and the Sacramento. Among these 5 regions, it's the same policy. If the vacancy rate at ICU dropped to less than 15%, this order will take effect in about 24 hours. Outdoor dining will be banned. And for the Southern California region, the vacancy rate has already dropped to about 13% by Friday. So according to the latest news, this order will take effect from midnight tonight. That is to say that from Monday, all of the restaurant, indoor or outdoor, and all the salon, hair salon, and all of these public spaces and stores will be closed down. As you can see, the streets are quite empty. If you have ever visited LA, the transportation or traffic jam situation is quite common in LA, but right now you can see that most of the streets are very empty, not a lot of cars, vehicles. Now we are approaching Whole Foods, and I expect people would be lining up because currently the retail stores in the United States it cannot take more than 20% of its maximum capacity. So for grocery stores, that is places that sells fruits and vegetables because they're daily essentials, their biggest capacity cannot exceed about 50%. I don't know if you have ever visited Los Angeles, because when mentioned Los Angeles, you will immediately think of sunshine, California, the beaches, and Hollywood. But I don't know if you have ever visited downtown LA. Actually, it's quite shabby and chaotic in downtown LA. Because after the World War II, a lot of middle class and upper class are moving outwards. They would choose to live in the suburbs. Or the nearby towns, because the environment is better, the surroundings are more friendly. So that make the city center, and most of the downtown places quite trodden. Here are some of the food court, which is also a unique street view in Los Angeles. But I've stopped eating from these street carts, these food carts. They are quite delicious. However, I worry about the hygiene of these food carts. So I think during this special time, I'd better be careful. Now we're at Whole Foods. This used to be a dining area at Whole Foods. You can buy some fresh food in this Whole Foods, and then you can choose to eat in this supermarket. And nobody's lining up at this moment. And from the inside, you can see people are doing some grocery shopping, I would pay visit here on a weekly basis to buy some grocery, vegetables, because I have to cook myself at home. I have to stay healthy at this time.
然后，大家看右边这里，看写着意外的地方，这是我的公司。然后我的办公室在16层。
This is my company, and my office is on the 16th floor.
环境设计得很现代化，然后。
I think my office is quite well designed. I actually miss working in my office. I've just graduated this year, and it was already several months in the pandemic, and I don't even have a lot of chances to work in my office. This used to be a very crowded place, but here you can see that it's quite empty. Last summer, I actually worked as an internship in Anyang, in Ernst & Young, and so that I have spent some time in working in my office. But if you are a graduate fresh out of college, you've never have an internship there, you won't be having any chance to work in the office, and you don't even get to know your colleague in real life. And also, because of the epidemic, the employment market in the U.S. is also not quite so promising. Some of my college classmates who still are staying in the U.S. are kind of stuck here because most of the other people have already found their way to buy plane tickets to go home. So most of my classmates from China have already returned to China. So in the U.S., it's safe to say that whether you are Chinese or American, life is hard. From March to now, it's already over half a year, and 2020 is drawing to an end. And people have become more and more numb about the growing of numbers on a daily basis. In April, people were discussing that the reported cases in the U.S. reached 2 million, which was already a quite astonishing number. However, if you look at the numbers today, it already dwarfed the number back in April. The only upside of the epidemic is that the roads are not so crowded, as I mentioned. Right now we are walking back to my apartment, and we will be driving to take you to my campus. I can also show you some of the scenic spots. If you're a fan of NBA, I can show you the Staples Center, which is the home court for the Lakers. But right now it's quite empty and quiet at this moment.
对体育挺狂热的，然后尤其今年。
I believe that the sports fans in the U.S. are very enthusiastic despite the epidemic. As is known to all, there are two professional teams, two basketball teams in Los Angeles, and LeBron James led team Lakers to win the champion of NBA. So despite the epidemic, the streets here in Los Angeles became quite crowded, crowded with people that went on parade to celebrate the victory. But we didn't go because we really were worried about the safety, because most of the people were not wearing masks. And another sports team is the Dodgers. They also won the champion of the league, and another celebration took place. This is my car. The reason why I park here is that it's quite safe. It's much easier to drive out. So it's a very short drive from here to my campus, to my university.
然后今天就不走高速了，因为车开得比较快的时候，它会影响。
We will not be taking the highway
质量，所以咱们就走。
Because if I drive too fast, it might affect the signal of the live stream.
是我们，因为我本科期间在中国学生学者联合，然后我大4的时候是主席，然后我们之前。
I work at the Students' Union back in college. So this is actually our hoodie that we made back in college. A lot of my classmates choose to go to graduate school, or some of them choose to go to work. For those who chose to pursue further learning, most of them are taking online courses at this moment. Because in my senior year, I was forced to take online courses. Frankly speaking, it was not nearly as good as taking class offline. However, we have to do that for the containment of COVID. I'd like to take this moment to thank the program editor. So we scheduled to make this live stream at 10 a.m. today, because people in China will be getting up at this moment. It's your morning. However, right now in Los Angeles, it would be 4 p.m. and it will be too dark, which will not be a good time for live broadcast. So that's why we have made changes to the time. So I want to apologize for the inconvenience that I have caused due to the change of time for a live stream. Let me show you the situation. But I have to say that please don't use your cell phone. You better not use your cell phone while driving. It's quite unsafe. As you can see that the streets are not very crowded, it's quite empty. USC is actually at downtown of LA, so it's not quite far away from where I live.
但现在感觉洛杉矶这么严重，我也不太想去了。给大家看一下，我现在到了
Right now we are at my campus, USC. Can you see the tall building over there? That's one of the signature architecture of my university. Right now we're taking you to one of the entrances of my university.
迎大家来到洛杉矶最顶尖的高校——南加州大学。
This is one of the top universities here in Los Angeles, University of South California. So it's maybe the second best university after Caltech.
然后大家可以看到这里平时不是这个样子，然后它架起了很多这种用来给 visitor 的这种通道吧，因为你要
This is a passage for the visitors.
然后同时给你 maybe 给你做一下
If you want to go in, you have to show your ID and get your temperatures check. Have your temperature check.
所以就是任何平时上的人这样做一下。
So for all the visitors, you have to go through the temperature checkpoint,
常见的一个。
which is right now quite common in the States as well.
Yeah, 53965 64045. Zane? Z Zing. No. No. No.
In the last 14 days, were you around anyone who may have had coronavirus?
No.
In the last 14 days, were you self-tested positive for coronavirus?
No. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
You too. 啊，这还是我疫情以来第一次。OK， 不是第一次吧，但是是几个月之内第一次回到学校，然后现在他们的这个。
Well, it's actually my first time coming back to my university since the epidemic, and I'm surprised to find that this kind of containment measures is more strict than the last time I came here. They will ask about your runabouts in the last 14 days. They will ask your journeys, the journeys that you take, and people that you've met, and whether you have been tested positive for COVID.
真的非常美。可能现在天色比较晚。
It's my campus, very beautiful.
但我还真的蛮想念，说实话蛮想念在这儿上学的日子，就是
I really miss my campus, miss my college years.
学生的时光。
So I believe that if you ask anyone who have already gone to work,
那么一次，然后当然你也可以在
they would tell you to cherish your college years
本科时光。
because you may never experience such a lovely time, such a unique time ever again in your life.
这是我曾经上欧洲历史的课的地方。
This is where I took European history classes, my writing classes.
镜头里的这条大道上，摆摊，就是每学期开学的时候，每个学生社团会在这里摆摊。
At the beginning of each school year, and all of the society, the students group, would be lining up and lobbying to try to get new students, try to attract new members into these students' societies. However, this year probably they will not have a chance to do so. 带大家走一条小路去我们的电影学院看一下。我们电影学院是。 We'll take you to the
然后跟他们
the Film Academy, which is the top one film academy.
还有什么来着？我不记得了，但是
It's the Academy for Cinematography
大家可以看一下那个。
in the U.S.
这里是一个曾经
学生们会可能中午的时候天气比较暖和，然后会在这里躺在草坪上晒太阳啊、野餐啊。
Usually, in a warm day, students would choose to have picnic here and enjoy a bit of a leisure time.
This space unoccupied for safe physical distancing. 对，就是说。
You can read a note here.
现在很多公共场合
Due to the epidemic, and you cannot even sit on these open chairs because it's part of the public space, and people are worried about the possibility of infection. So, advertisement for my university, despite the very expensive tuition fee, USC is truly an outstanding university with excellent students, professors. I really enjoy my college years.
OK， 然后今天大概差不多带大家看一看洛杉矶疫情的情况，然后这确实。
think that's about it for my introduction of the situation here in LA.
希望可以早日。
It is quite serious at this moment. Hopefully, we can pull through this situation soon. For all of our compatriots at home, make sure that you wear masks when you go out. Thank you. That's all for the live stream.